What's up, tribe? Make sure you are getting your Black Girl vitamins, okay? Head on over to blackgirlvitamins.co, blackgirlvitamin.co. Get you an order of some Black Girl vitamins and put in your discount code ReallyBTV. Maybe you can save 20% and free shipping and handling. So head on over. Once you get your order, send me a picture, tag me on Instagram, and let me know how you liking it, okay? Now, let's go ahead and get into this Jennifer Williams situation now. I'm talking about this because I think y'all want me to talk about this, okay? Because y'all know I really don't review Basketball Wives anymore. But, baby, this story has just taken control, okay? It's everywhere. Tomorrow's your birthday. Everybody wish, is it Zalonda? Y'all wish Zalonda a happy birthday. Y'all know we got to get swindled early on. Ciao. So now I am not going to break down all the legal documents. If you guys want a legal breakdown, y'all know y'all can check out my girl Pam. Is That Legal? She broke it down. And also Simone Redwine. Lord, I act like I couldn't remember the woman's name. So y'all know that's my girl. Simone Redwine. Her YouTube channel is Girl Is That Legal? Especially Simone, because Simone has been keeping her foot on Christian's neck. Do you hear me? But both of them have covered this story, and they have the legal documents, and they're breaking everything down. I do have a copy of some of the legal documents, but I don't even think y'all need me to get into all that. We're going to really talk about the interview with Carlos King. Y'all, thank you, Cupstar. And thank you to everybody who has ordered. I can see every time. I can't see who's ordering, but I can see when there is an order placed. And you guys really have been supporting me, and I appreciate that. Listen, y'all know I appreciate everything y'all do for me over here, and it's not taken lightly. One of my subscribers who stays in the bushes, she told me she'd be in the bushes. She just sent me a donation for my classroom, and it is so appreciated. You guys just don't know. And so I appreciate your love. I appreciate your support. So let's get into this Jennifer Williams situation. I'm going to just go on and just tell y'all right now, I don't believe nothing this man said out his mouth. I believe that Jennifer is being swindled, and I feel like she's getting all the warning signs. She's getting all of the messages. God is trying to help her in every way, shape, and form, or from however you say it, every way, shape, and form, whatever. And she is just choosing to live in her ignorance. And my thing is, girl, if you like it, I love it. And all I can do is hope that when it's all over said and done, you still got a window, a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. Because that's all I got for you, Jennifer. That is all I have. Now, if anybody feels differently after watching the interview, for those of you that watched the interview, y'all feel free to put it in the chat. Y'all feel free to drop down and say, "No, really be. I see things differently. Not really be. I believe this. Not really be. Really be. Really be." Please, y'all tell me. First of all, can we start at the beginning and work our way down? Is there anybody in Black C-list celebrity world, in the Black C-list celebrity world, that Carlos King ain't cool with, right? Every time he does an interview with one of these reality stars, they his girls, they his friends, and every time he says, "I know y'all say that I'm cool with everybody, but no, Jennifer really is my girl. No, we've broken bread together. We've gone on double dates together, yada, 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 yada." I just feel like Carlos, again, I'm all for knowing a lot of people and socializing. Y'all know I like to socialize, but I don't call everybody my friend. That's a very strong word for me, especially at this point in my life. Maybe 20 years ago, a lot of people might have got that label, but baby, nowadays, baby, I know them. Y'all hear me say in a minute, "Oh yeah, I know them." But let me say this. And we have talked about Carlos King, and I have been very critical of Carlos King. Y'all know I have. Y'all know that I have been critical of Carlos, and I have talked about Carlos. But can I tell y'all something? Baby, not even Carlos was buying this bullshit. For those who watched the interview, do y'all feel like I feel that not even Carlos was buying that bullshit? Because Carlos, when that man was talking, all Carlos was saying was, okay. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, all right. And then he would ask these questions. Now, some of them questions he was following up on, but other questions he let hang. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. At a certain point, when you know somebody looking you dead in your face and just lying about stuff, at a certain point, it's almost as if I'm just gonna let them keep talking. Because they're not answering none of my questions anyway. So I'm just gonna let them keep talking. And can I tell y'all something? What I really think was happening in this moment. What I honestly, and this is my honest opinion, y'all. Like, yes, Carlos was getting the scoop. He has his YouTube channel. That's what he does. I ain't mad at you. Get your money, boo, right? Yes, he was getting the scoop. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. About halfway through that interview, I was at work today. I was setting up my classroom. I was listening to it in my ear. This video is sponsored by Juvia's Place. Yes, Cajun, speaking into existence. Yes, Juvia. I'm gonna try to give me I ain't lying to y'all. I'm gonna try to give me a discount code for my Juvia's Place lipstick. If nothing else, for the lipstick, child. But with that being said, about halfway through this interview, I honestly felt like Carlos was doing this to help Jennifer. And what I mean by that is not help Jennifer marry this man, not help Jennifer get in front of the rumors, no. I feel like Carlos was doing this to help Jennifer maybe see it and hear. You know how sometimes other people, you have to see, like sometimes you need a different perspective, and not even so much somebody lecturing you, but no, it clearly didn't help. It didn't help. I know that. I get that. But that's how I felt. I felt like halfway through this, I said, this interview is because Carlos know this man is full of shit and Jennifer ain't listening to nobody. I teach high school, Miss Pretty Amazing. I teach high school, child. And I say that because I have class, because of the classes that I teach, I get kids from all 4 grade levels. So, but I have mostly 9th graders and 12th graders, but I got a little middle sprinkled in. So let me just go through my notes, because I took notes, but my notes are probably all over the place. And I'm just going to give y'all the hot spots. Again, if y'all want the legal breakdown, go to Girl Is That Legal, or go to Pam Esquire and the Law Intellect and get all of them reading through the legal documents. I'm just going to go over what I know. I've read through the legal documents and I watched their videos. So I'm going to tell y'all what I know based on this what this stupid man done told us. So first of all, of course, they talk about how they met. And, this is how you know that Jennifer cares about all of the wrong things, right? Which is the reason why it's so easy for this man to manipulate her and keep her where he want her, because she cares about all the wrong stuff. When Carlos was like, how did y'all meet? She put more energy into breaking down that they met at an elite private club that's even more elite than Soho House. And for those people who don't know what Soho House is like an invitation only elite private club that, the membership is like a ridiculous amount of money per year, yada, yada, yada kind of thing. And she was like, yeah. I mean, because we met at, I forgot the name of the place. I didn't even write it down because it don't matter. I probably ain't gonna never be no member, no way, but it don't matter. She said, and I mean, it's like Soho House, but it's like even more elite. Thank you, Naisha Hodges, for, I think you're renewing your membership, because I believe you were a member before, but either way, thank you for being a member. Thank you so much. So, not Red Bull, don't get that girl wings. I ain't doing this with y'all. Yeah, I thought you were a member, girl. So, not Jennifer is giving Shirley Strawberry in the making. You know what? So, ain't nobody worried about Cajun. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Who's Lord? I'm tired. Stayed up all night last night trying to wait on Biden, child. So So that's where they met. She talked about they met there. She said their first date was like 6 hours. They did all this talking, yada, 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 right? We don't care nothing about that, right? So then this is the part that I want to get into. He goes into his charges and how that happened. First of all, he starts at birth, right? Well, when I was born to my mother, yada, yada, yada. And, my mom was a single mom, but she wasn't a struggling single mom. I mean, she had to work hard, but I mean, we weren't like from poverty or nothing, but I saw the hard work. And I always, my mother was the reason why it inspired me to work as hard as I did. And, in high school, I had 3 scholarships for a full ride to college, but, I blew out my ACL and my ECL and my DDLT and my ABCD and my BLT. So, that kind of went out the window. I couldn't really. You believed him? You believed him about what, 21 Pandas? Tell me what you believe that man about, because all I believe that man about is his name at this point. So then he said, so, I went to work, so this man said that he was 19 years old in college full time. In college, full time, working a corporate job, making $136,000 a year. So let me break this down for everybody here. Let me just break all this down. Now, according to the paperwork Pam read, at the time of his arrest, he was working for Verizon or AT&T. Yes, that is a corporate job, right? You work for a corporation. But baby, McDonald's is a corporation too. And there's no disrespect to people who work at McDonald's. But we all know the difference between working at the drive-through and working at a corporate office somewhere and at corporate. Like, can we stop? For real, y'all. So you saying you was working, first of all, you were in Atlanta, Georgia, and this is no disrespect to anybody that lives in Atlanta, but we already know that Atlanta, the cost of living in Atlanta is totally different, which means that your pay scale is based on the cost of living of where you are. Then that a man just turned 30. This all happened when he said this all. Oh, and did I forget to tell y'all he was 19 years old? Did I tell y'all that part? So he was 19 years old, working a corporate job and going to college full time, making $136,000 a year in Atlanta, Georgia. $10 years ago in Atlanta, Georgia, for you to be making $136,000, first of all, $136,000 is still good money, right? It's still good money. But 10 years ago in Atlanta, Georgia, at 19 years old, and you in college full time. The cost of living, you brown mama, you saying in Atlanta the cost of living is high, not compared to up here. It's all relative. You understand what I'm saying? So again, making $136,000 in New York is not the same as making $136,000 in Atlanta 10 years ago, right? Making $136,000 in New York really is not a lot of money when you think of the cost of living of New York. Making $136,000 in Atlanta, Georgia is a lot of money for the cost of living. I remember when my girlfriend moved to Atlanta from New York, and she was able to keep her salary. And baby, she bought a house down the street from Ludacris, not the house he live in now, but like the first house Ludacris had. And this was years ago. I mean, she's been out of Atlanta for probably 15 years now. But baby, you thought Atlanta was more expensive than what, New York? I know you ain't think Atlanta was more expensive than New York. Hell no. You can buy a whole house in Atlanta for what it costs for a 1-bedroom hole-in-the-wall condo in New York. It's child. So let's start there. So see, when you start there, I already ain't believing nothing else you about to say. So then he starts doing this self-deprecating thing, right? Which already puts me on edge when you start saying, and I mean, you know, when I look back on things, I'm sure it has gone up significantly now. I'm talking about 10 years ago, y'all. $136,000. But $136,000 now is still a lot of money. I'm sorry. I know that people live down there, but it still ain't what it is up here. But neither here. No, she wasn't next to Luda, but she was in the same neighborhood as Luda. But she took her New York salary down to Atlanta. Like, it was crazy. Anyway. Because she transferred jobs. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. So, right, y'all. I want for all of y'all that's talking about that Atlanta is. I want y'all to Google a 2-bedroom apartment in Atlanta and Google a 2-bedroom apartment in New York, and I want y'all to tell me what them prices looking like. I just want y'all to tell me what them prices is looking like. Anyway, neither here nor there. We still talking about 10 years ago. He said he had a girlfriend at the time. And he starts with this self-deprecating, well, you know, I realize now, you know, I had an ego, you know, because I mean, I was this young guy making all this money, living good, and da-da-da-da-da. You know, I had this ego. Do I feel Jennifer is desperate and lonely? She clearly is desperate and lonely. Because there's nowhere in the world that she's sitting next to this dude after everything she's been through, and she believes anything this man is saying. So clearly she is willfully ignorant. That's my opinion. Thank you. Sparkle Golden says, the lies. I've been in Atlanta for over 30 years. He was not making that at 19 without a degree. The salary is doable, but not without credentials. Yeah, the salary is doable. Absolutely, the salary is doable. But she's grieving what? Sean, what you mean she grieving? I know you're not getting ready to say her mama. And I mean this with all the sincerity, and I don't want to be disrespectful because I know grief has no time limit, and I understand that. But no, I'm not going to give her that pass. Sorry. Not sorry. So he sets all this up about, you know, da-da-da-da-da. And he said, you know, him and his girl were having some problems. And they got into an argument. And she tried to leave. Now, here's how I know. This is what I'm saying. When people start talking too much, I'm not saying it is not true. I'm telling you, I ain't believe him. Okay. He could have been telling the truth. I'm telling you, I didn't believe him. And I'm going to tell you why I didn't believe him. When people start giving way too much explanation before they even tell you what they did, that's where I have to start being like, see, now I'm side-eyeing you because you're setting me up before you even tell me the bullshit, right? So what I mean by that is this. So he was like, you know, she was trying to leave, right? And I was like, look, I don't want you to go. Let's just sit down. Let's talk this out. Let's work this out. He was like, and I mean, you know, like any other couple in the world. Well, first he said America, then the world. I mean, when you arguing, you know, y'all do that all the time. You be like, no, don't leave. Let's talk this out. No, don't leave yet. Let's work this out. And that's when I was like, see, here we go. Because you talking about some like every other couple in the world and like every other couple in the world and like every other. Sir. Then he said, I was like, you know, call your mom or call your sister or somebody to come and get you. But you know, because she was intoxicated and I just didn't want her driving in that condition. So which one is it? Is it I don't want you to leave because I'm ready. I need us to talk about it and I need us to work it out. Or is it I don't want you to leave because you intoxicated? Give me your keys. Then he said, so, you know, I was blocking her from leaving, you know, from the front door to the back door. So let me get this straight. Thank you, Edwina Boo. Thank you. Let me get this straight. So you had a front door and a back door to where you were living. I'm going to get to where they were living in a minute. But you had a front door and a back door. and you were fast enough to block her from leaving out the front door and the back door at the same time? Which means that she was at the front door, y'all were arguing, you said, no, you can't leave. She turned around to walk to the back door and you ran in front of her and blocked her, or you physically restrained her from getting to the back door, because how you get there faster than her? And you mean to tell me this went back and forth, back and forth? How long did y'all run back and forth from the front door to the back door? So then he said, I didn't know that was a crime. I mean, I didn't know at the time that I was committing a crime from, by blocking her by stopping her from leaving. I didn't know I was committing a crime. Now, y'all know that's what OJ got. Remember, we had that conversation. Oh, we never did finish OJ Simpson, did we? Damn. But remember, that's what we talked about with the OJ Simpson thing, when he finally did get arrested in Las Vegas and he got charged with kidnapping. And I was like, dang, that's kidnapping? I was like, so you mean to tell me because he stopped them from leaving out the room, that was considered kidnapping? But it was. And in his case, they were going to charge him with kidnapping, but then they changed it to just, what is that? I wrote it down. Hold on. False imprisonment. False imprisonment. Miss Pretty Amazing said, really be that's possible. And X locked me in his house from the outside. Right. He locked you in the house from the outside. I'm talking about this man was like Stretch Armstrong, and he stopped her from getting out the front door and the back door at the same time. You being locked in is not the same thing as what he described. He said they were going back and forth from the front to the back of the house, and he was blocking her from getting out. Your relationship where he locked you in, that's different. That's not what I'm talking about. But I understand what I'm saying is he clearly did it. I'm just saying the way he described it happening, I ain't saying it didn't happen. I'm just telling y'all why I didn't believe him. Now y'all can believe him. I'm telling y'all why I didn't believe nothing this man was saying. Because what you're not going to tell me is that there was no physical contact involved with you stopping her from going out the front door and out the back door. But here's where it really gets bad, y'all. She clearly got so frustrated at a certain point of this argument and him not allowing her to leave that she went upstairs to the third floor. I guess they were in a townhouse now, but actually he said it was a garden apartment. But I ain't gonna get into logistics because my thing is if it was an apartment, whatever, neither here nor there. He said she went up to the third floor, or he was on the third floor, because my thing is I never knew apartments that had a front door and a back door if they were on the third floor, but maybe, child, I don't know. They have apartments that do all kinds of things. So it could have been a front door or a back door to this apartment, child. I don't even care no more. Hey, Tracy Boo. Tracy said, we don't even have 100 likes, and we got 200 people in here. If y'all could please hit that like button, I would appreciate y'all so much. If you're new here, can you please subscribe to the channel? And donations are not required, but they are appreciated and accepted. Moving on. So with that being said, this young lady walked up to the third floor of this building, apartment, townhouse, whatever, and proceeded to jump. Now, I do think there was some, either A, there was absolutely some alcohol involved, or B, she was that desperate, or C, both. Because there are two ways we can go with that story. So let's go down both roads. Road A, she was intoxicated and was like, I can make it. I want to get the hell away from him. He won't let me leave. I'm ready to go. I can jump. If I jump, I can go boom, boom, and I'm good. Now, he told Carlos it was concrete there. So I have no idea what made her think that that was a good idea, unless she was intoxicated. However, he did say they were both drinking. However, it also could be she was that desperate. Like, oh my gosh, this man's really not letting me leave, and I really want to get the hell out of here. I do think there had to be some alcohol involved, because I just, but neither here nor there. She jumped from the third floor. She ended up breaking both of her ankles. She hurt her back. She was in a wheelchair for like 6 months. She lost her job. All of these things. He said that he came home the next day and there was a warrant. He was arrested. Now, here's what I find to be very interesting. Carlos asked him questions about her injuries. He ain't know nothing about her injuries. The reason why I know about the injuries, not because of the interview, but because I watched Pam and Simone, and they talked about the injuries and what was in the paperwork about her injuries, right? Carlos asked him, well, do you know what happened? Well, I talked to her aunt the next day or her mom the next day. And I mean, I think she like hurt her ankles or something. And Carlos was like, well, what you mean? Like, do you know what her injuries were? I'm not really sure what all her injuries were. I mean, I think it was something with her ankles. He didn't say she was in a wheelchair for 6 months. He didn't say she broke both ankles. He didn't say she had a back injury. He didn't say none of that. He was like, yeah, I think she hurt her ankles, He put more description into him getting evicted. The fact that they got evicted from the apartment. He put more description into getting to the apartment the next day and there being a warrant on the door and him going to the office and him having to show his ID and them telling him there's a warrant for your arrest. Oh, yeah, by the way, you're evicted. You can't live here. And he put more description into that than he put into describing what really happened. And Carlos was like, well, how long was she in the hospital? I'm not sure. Well, what did the doctor say? Oh, I'm not sure. Like, he ain't know none of that. Yeah, thank you, Miss AKA. Thank you for reminding me. He said that too. Carlos said, well, do you think she was trying to unalive herself? He was like, well, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but yeah, I think that might be what she was trying to do. No, she was trying to get away from you, sir, because you wouldn't let her leave. But didn't he make out he wasn't there when she jumped, but took her keys? So he locked her in and left her with his cousin. Yeah, I guess, Yvette, I guess. I can't say no because I'm telling y'all, baby, I'm not sure means he was told something that incriminates himself. Ray, there's nothing to incriminate him. He's already been tried, convicted, and served his time. There's nothing to incriminate. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I was thinking, right? So as I was sitting there listening to the interview, I was thinking, well, maybe he took a plea, so there was no trial, and this woman didn't testify, so he didn't know. But no, there was a trial. Now, he said the trial only lasted for 3 days, but there was a trial, which means this woman testified and talked about her injuries and talked about exactly what happened. And I'm sorry, what? Excuse me? How you gonna sit here and say you don't know what happened and you don't remember and you don't this and you don't that? And there was a whole trial where this woman testified and told her story. It's in the court documents. Her injuries are in the court documents. So that's when I was like, when he said there was a trial, I said, you know what? I don't care nothing else. I don't care about nothing else this man talking about because everything he's saying is bullshit at this point. It's bullshit. Because there was a trial, which means that woman testified, you were found guilty. So I can see if the charges were still pending. He done already served his time. He out of jail and everything. I think he said he got out of jail in 2018 or something like that. I don't know. But he done served his time. There's nothing more that can happen to him. I mean, she could sue him in civil court, but him not saying something in a Carlos King interview ain't gonna stop that from happening. Really be the court story will not match the story he told Jennifer. Right. It clearly don't match because if you read the court documents and you look at that interview today, that shit don't match. So that's where right. Somebody said that's where the restitution. Yes, the restitution comes in because he was court ordered to basically pay her medical bills. Now it's clear that this woman had insurance because her medical bills came to something like, I think initially it was like $6,000. And then he was ordered to pay a total of like $12,000 and some change. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. How we get from $12,000 to $250,000? There is no document in existence that shows that he owes that woman $250,000 in restitution. Now, that's what he told Jennifer on Basketball Wives. And I thought it was funny how when he was talking, this is where you know that, and I don't want to use the word narcissist because, child, that word is so overused, but this is where these arrogant people get themselves caught up, because he was talking to Carlos, right? And he was like, well, you know, I was court ordered to pay a certain amount of money per month, and I can't really tell you that because, you know, because of legal issues, I can't really tell you how much I was ordered to pay per month. Then, not 5 minutes later, y'all, I promise y'all, it wasn't even 5 minutes later, he said, well, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it was $300 a month. I thought you just said, sir, I thought you just said you couldn't tell us because of legal reasons you couldn't tell us. I thought you said you couldn't tell us because of legal reasons. But child, it wasn't even 5 minutes later. It wasn't even 5 minutes later. He said, oh, I'm going to go ahead and tell you it was $300 a month. Tracy said he had to pay $300 a month for 12 months for 7 years. That's $25K, not $250K. Exactly. Because there are other court fees and other things involved. So $12,000 really is more than $12,000, but it ain't $250,000. Like, it ain't no math where that's mathing. There is no math where that is mathing. Yes, Yvette, I said that from the beginning, boo. Carlos, I don't think Carlos believed the word this man was saying out his mouth. And you could tell because Carlos usually is giving, baby, when you watch that interview, Carlos wasn't giving nothing. Carlos, the whole time, Carlos was like, okay. I said normally he wasn't giving none of that. He wasn't giving none of that. Not this is Legion identity got to be protected. Right. This sounds like some old Legion shit, child. So, right. Coincidentally, the same amount for the wedding. Right. So then we get into this money situation. So there's the restitution stuff, child. There's the restitution. He lied about this restitution as far as the amount and all that. And according to the court records that Simone has, it's paid. Tell me if I'm wrong, Miss AKA. I know you were in Simone's chat. Am I correct in that Simone said that she has documents that show that his restitution has been paid? And if I'm wrong, correct me, because again, I've watched so many videos, so I might have picked up something that wasn't accurate. But I could have sworn I thought I heard that this restitution has been paid. Okay, I'm correct. Yes, it's been paid in full. So even if, which is not true, but even if there was a $250,000 restitution, according to the court, sir, you paid whatever was owed. Miss AKA keeps saying, I was high, but yeah, I remember every time she asks a question, she's like, I was high, but I remember that. And I just found it to be so interesting. So then, let me say this before I forget, child. We'll get to the money in a minute, because baby, this money situation just, I'm not a money person. I don't trade stocks. I don't understand everything about when it comes to like trading and bonds and all that stuff. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lies, but baby, I can add 1 + 1 and get 2 every day. I know I can. Girl. Yes. I'm sorry. At the refrigerator. It still got a little corner. So He said he paid it. What, on Basketball Wives he said he paid it? Because I know I don't watch Basketball Wives. I just remember the clip where he said he owed it and they needed to get it paid. But if he said he paid it, but either way, he still lied because it wasn't no $250,000 restitution. So either way, it's a lie. So right, exactly. Either way, it's a lie. So then let's get into. I'm gonna just touch on this, and then like I said, we'll get to the money because, child, that thing had me spinning in circles. I'm gonna just break that down as best I can. But let's talk about this situation. So according to Pam, she pulled the paperwork as recently as today. Quake said he just added a zero, no biggie. Right. So according to what Pam said, his lawyer did file paperwork basically asking, with this in response to the warrant. Basically is lawyer work, is fancy talk for can he come into court so we can resolve this without him being arrested? He just trying to get this cleared. He's trying to get his probation severed so he could go and have his wedding that he's supposed to be having in a week or 2 weeks or whenever this damn wedding is supposed to take place. Now, according to the court paperwork, they said the court had reason to believe that this man was traveling outside of Georgia without permission. And they had pictures of him in LA, Switzerland, and in Italy, right? So when the probation office called him and asked him about traveling, he was like, "No, I'm in Georgia. I'm at a wedding now." Sir, they ain't mean on that day. They ain't mean at this moment in time, are you in Georgia? Sir, they mean, have you been traveling outside of Georgia without our permission? Stop playing with us. Don't be playing these word games. What about when he said when they get married, he gonna let Jennifer handle the money? Yeah, because it's gonna be Jennifer money. Yeah. Did y'all see how he slid in there that last week he lost more money, that he took a big hit last week and he lost so much money last week? Y'all see how he slid that in there that things go up and down and last week was a bad week? Y'all saw that? Mm-hmm. So let's get to this whole money situation. Now his probation officer was in the chat. Oh shit. Damn. So you in trouble. Let me talk about this a little bit, y'all. I don't understand all the ins and outs, so I ain't even about to sit here and try to break this down for y'all in a way that y'all can understand it, because I ain't understand it. But see, that is what they do. People like him talk around stuff and they talk over stuff and through stuff, hoping you won't follow it, hoping you don't understand, because that's how they get over. Even Jennifer sat there and said, yeah, because I don't even understand how he's making money. He just shows me and I see the screen go from red to green. And I saw him making $50,000. I mean, I took a video of it and I was like, oh my gosh, put me in the game, coach. How can I be down? You made $50,000 in 15 minutes. See, that's how he be getting people. You made $50,000 in 15 minutes, but he can't explain to you how it happened. So then he said, when Carlos was like, so basically you play the stock market. Well, I don't want to say I'm with the stock market. I mean, I'm more like Forex, international currency, sir, you could be like, again, I don't understand it. So I ain't about to sit here and pretend like I do. But what I am going to say is when Carlos said that he buys stock, and you asked Carlos what platform he uses, and Carlos said Vanguard. Y'all notice how he pivoted away from that real quick? Do y'all notice how fast he pivoted away when Carlos said that he buys stock? And when Carlos, I don't know nothing about Vanguard, but when Carlos said Vanguard, because at first he was like, well, what platform do you use? And I guess he was waiting for Carlos to say something I don't know, probably something like we use, like I use like Robinhood or something like that, or Acorn. Baby, he said Vanguard, and baby, he pivoted away from that one real quick. Did y'all peep that? Baby, he pivoted away from that one real quick. I said, So then, here is when I knew, in my opinion, let me be clear, in my opinion, here's when I really truly said, I don't believe nothing he's saying about this money. He said, Carlos asked him, so how do you make your money? Fair question. He said, well, I don't really make money off my business. I make money off my skill. I make money off my skill. So then Carlos was like, well, can you explain that to me? Because I don't understand what that means. He was like, yeah, because and then his explanation, he described trading. So again, Carlos said, okay, so then you do make money off of your trades. Like, you playing games with me. And one thing, y'all know listen, y'all know I say what I say about Carlos, but Carlos is not a dummy. Like, he might be messy. He might be some other things that y'all know I get on Carlos. But baby, Carlos isn't stupid. That man said, after he did all of that, he said, so you make money off of your trades. Like, we're back where we started. So you're making money off of your company. So then Carlos says, well, have you seen his bank accounts? And at first, Jennifer was like, yeah. She said, well, no, I've never seen his bank accounts. I've seen his brokerage accounts. And then Jennifer says, no, Carlos says, well, you really shouldn't keep a lot of money in the bank. Anyway, he said, you really shouldn't keep more than $250,000 in the bank. And again, I know that because it's only going to be insured for up to a certain amount. I get that. But again, Jennifer, all you've seen is his brokerage accounts. So you really haven't seen his tangible, like what he has in the bank. Have you seen his bank statements? Have you seen what he spends in a month, what comes in and what goes out? How consistent is it? Is it up, and down? Is it pretty? Like, what's going on here, Jen? Exactly, Miss AKA. Do you know, like, have y'all not seen those movies? What was the name of that movie? It was I'm about to age myself right now. There was a movie. It was with Nia Long years ago. This movie came out years ago. It was Nia Long. It was I want to say maybe Brad Pitt. It was one of them, like, big, maybe Ben Affleck, but it was like at the time, one of the hottest, like, white actors at the time. But I remember Nia Long was in it. Boiler Room. Thank you, R&D. But yes, Boiler Room, right? That movie was all about a fake stock brokerage company and how they would make all this money. And boiler rooms was like a real term for these. For they would go in, they would set up these like fake stock companies, and they would sell and buy, and they would take all these people's money, and then they would move on. Vin Diesel. It was Vin Diesel. Okay, Vin Diesel. And they were able to show people all of and this was before the internet, where you could, with AI and everything else, child, they was stealing people's life savers and then moving on to the next thing. I said, I'm listening to her and I'm like, do you know how easy it is to fake this shit? You gonna watch it again tonight, R&D? Right, like, I'm thinking, do you know how easy it is to fake this shit? Especially nowadays, like, you could create whole videos showing something trading, and you can the graphics going up and going down, and like we just remember what was that? It was a couple of years ago. Xavier, you're gonna remember. A couple of years ago, what was that? Was it not Tinder? He wasn't on Tinder. Who was the guy that was meeting people? The Tinder swindler? That's who it was. Him. Remember the Tinder swindler? And he was literally scamming women for millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Let me tell y'all something else. Oh my gosh, Autumn's mom, you just took the words right out of my damn mouth. Then he said that he is into multi-level marketing. Multi-level marketing. Ain't that what Jen Shaw went to jail for? Not for multi-level marketing, but isn't that what she was doing? AKA pyramid schemes. And Carlos even said that. He was like, so that's like multi-level marketing. I mean, like pyramid schemes. Baby, he said it. Go back and watch that interview. He said it. He said, yeah, a lot of people think, that it's a scam. A lot of people think that they're like Ponzi schemes. He was like, but no. And even then, he got lost in his explanation. Go back and watch that if you watch the video. Anybody who watched the interview, y'all know what I'm talking about. He got lost in that when he got ready to start trying to explain his multi-level marketing and all that. Baby, he got caught up. He got lost in his own explanation. I said, oh, hell no. When he said multi-level marketing, hey, girl. What up, Simone? I told them people they need to get over there and catch your video because you done had your foot on this man's neck. But baby, when he said multi-level marketing, I said, oh, yeah, no. And then he couldn't even explain it. I said, oh, no. See, I pay attention to what people don't say. When Carlos asked that man how he make his money and he couldn't explain it, not so he's selling Avon. Not so he's selling Avon. Baby, when somebody can't explain something to you, that's when I be like, so how do you make your money? Remember Jen Shaw, when they asked Jen Shaw at the reunion how she made her money and that shit didn't make no sense and she couldn't explain it? That was the side eye right there. Carlos said, so how do you make your money? And when Carlos said, so you make money off of trading? And he said, no, I make money off my skill. And he was another one, y'all. I know I'm all over the place, but I'm just trying to remember because I took my notes. But baby, at a certain point, it was just hard to take all that stuff in. Here's another one. This man says, Carlos said, well, how much are you worth? And again, this is how you could tell that Carlos was not feeling this man because Carlos wasn't even saying, I know this is a little, he was just like, so how much are you worth? Like he wasn't putting no padding with it. He wasn't doing nothing. Right. Simone said, I still don't understand how he makes his money. And neither do we. And neither does Jennifer. So he says, Carlos says, so how much are you worth? You can tell he was trying to figure out a number that wouldn't be too ridiculous, but rich enough. You can tell he was struggling for a number because first of all, he did the one thing that people do when they about to tell a lie. He repeated the question, what's my net worth? How much am I worth? And then he hesitated like he was thinking. He said, 6 million. But he almost said it with a question mark, right? Like, is that good enough, Carlos? Like, is that rich enough, but not too rich? You know what I'm saying? First of all, most people ain't gonna answer that question. Hey, Miss Cookie Ray, thank you for the super chat. It says this seems way too familiar. It sounds like a Ponzi scheme. It happened in the DMV a while ago, 15 to 18 years ago. Same conversation. Miss Cookie Ray, do you remember the name and everything? Because I live in the DMV. I would love to revisit that and look it up. I may be familiar with it. Right? He said, "Do you mean liquid?" Listen, let me tell you something. First of all, most people are not gonna answer that question. Most wealthy people are not going to answer that question, especially not in an interview that ain't about their money. Like this wasn't an interview about how rich he was. This was really supposed to be about clearing up the warrant and all of that. So, I mean, I ain't mad at Carlos for asking. I ain't mad at Carlos for asking, but baby, I'm, sir, that didn't even sound true. When the way you answered it didn't even sound true. You were like 6 million, like, and then he was like, I mean, I know that's not real rich, sir. Stop playing. 6 million sound good to everybody in this room. Now, of course, if you're trying to act like you a billionaire, that's another conversation. But if I was dating somebody and their net worth was $6 million, I'd be all right. I mean, of course, you always want to make more. Okay? Of course, you always want to make more, but child. And again, I'm gonna say this again because some of y'all might not have heard me. And Simone, you in here now. I don't know if you were here when I said it. Did y'all peep how he slid in there? How bad of a week he had last week? Yeah, because I mean, it's the market is up and down. And I mean, I took Byron Brown, Ellicott City. Hold on, I know Ellicott City. Okay, Byron Brown, Ellicott City. I'm gonna have to look that up. Byron, baby, you see what's happening to this council member here in DC? I hate to see it happen to the brother. Anyway, he also had property in Northern Virginia. Okay, I'm gonna look him up. Yeah, I mean, y'all, nothing this man said. Again, I'm just telling you, I didn't believe nothing he said. I ain't saying he a liar. That's for you to come to your own conclusion. I'm just telling you, I didn't believe nothing that man said. Nothing. Miss AK say my stocks are good. I'm retired and check regularly. I know that's right, Miss AK. Baby, I want to be retired too. You retired at 50. I'm trying to be like you. They charged him. Okay, so he was charged with domestic violence and he was charged with lawful imprisonment, or excuse me, unlawful imprisonment. He was found not guilty on the domestic violence charges and he was found guilty on the unlawful imprisonment. And that's what he was. You teaching Ward 8? Listen, Melly, you know, I remember him because I used to be child. Y'all know I used to be really active in DC politics when I lived in DC. I was very active in DC politics. And I remember when he first started, when he was an ANC and he first started just dipping his toe. I remember he used to wear them suits that didn't fit and child. And I really had high hopes. I really hate to see it. And it ain't looking good for him, child. I'm sorry, y'all. Sidebar, it was a council member here in DC that was arrested. The FBI arrested him on Sunday, and it's bribery charges. And it ain't look. I haven't read the indictment, but it ain't looking good. Now let me read through my notes because that was just me going off the top of my head. Excuse me. Let me make sure I just wrote it. I got everything that I wrote down. Full scholarship, company, corporate job at 19. Atlanta, full-time DV, false imprisonment, worth $6 million Forex, trading jumped from 3 stories, started during the pandemic, scammer. I wrote scammer in my notes. I wrote it in my notes, y'all, scammer. Anyway, how do you make money? Not company from scale. Okay, that was what he was on. Making money from trades doesn't help. How, you know, or doesn't keep a lot of money in the bank. Never seen his bank account. 20 child, and the man is 30 years old. Mind you, all this before 30. They got him on videotape. Oh yeah, it ain't looking good. I read it, but I haven't read like the full article. I saw like a little snippet on the news. Yeah, that ain't good. I said I was gonna pull in the full indictment because I haven't read the whole indictment, but I'm sure the indictment will tell the story. So then Carlos asked him, have you lost a lot of clients? And this is what I really hate, y'all. This is the shit that I hate, though. And this is the reason why people like him are so dangerous, right? Because he was like, yeah, I did. I lost some, I lost a lot of clients, but I also had clients that called me and was like, you've made me money. I ain't worried about it. I know you're not a scammer, right? But here's what he did that pissed me off. He made it about race. He said, my white clients, they understand. And that's what's so unfortunate with our people, with the Black community. I'm paraphrasing. This ain't his quote. I'm paraphrasing. They're basically short-sighted and they don't understand how all this really works. I don't like that. I don't like that you turned this into a race thing. So because black people was like, nah, give me my money, they wrong. Something wrong with them because they see through your bullshit. Plus, first of all, I told you I don't believe nothing that man's saying, so I don't believe him. Let's start there and work our way back. I don't believe him. I believe he lost just as many. First of all, whoever he lost, however he lost it, I think he lost just as many white clients as he lost black clients. Number one. Number two, I don't believe him anyway. But for him to turn it into a race thing pissed me off. Lord Tracy said, check my email. Whenever Tracy say, Lord Tracy. Thank you, Tracy. Child Tracy done pulled the daggone indictment. Thank you, Tracy. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Mwah. Thank you so much for the super chat. Child, that is hilarious to me. Tracy did already sent it to me, child. Thank you, boo. Lord, Jennifer Lopez files for divorce from Ben Affleck. That woman just can't find love. She just can't find love. Poor thing. I guess she's looking for love in all the wrong places. I don't know what to say. With that being said, y'all, we about to get out of here. Do not forget tonight, El Teddy will be doing his watch party for the DNC. Don't forget tonight that Barack Obama, Michelle Obama will be speaking. I don't have time to do 2 videos tonight, so I don't have time to really give my breakdown of last night's DNC. And I don't want to blend these 2 videos, so I don't want to start talking about that. But with that being said, we'll talk about it at some point. We'll get into it. Just to say this, I enjoyed last night. I did enjoy last night. I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm excited to hear how things are going to go tonight. Some Maryland representatives are speaking tonight, so I'm excited to see what they have to say. And some Maryland politicians. Let me say that some Maryland politicians will be speaking tonight. Did Simone Redwine tell his scammer victims to file criminal complaints? I think she did. And baby, why did the aunt drop into Simone's comments and try to comfort Simone? Y'all got to go hear Simone, child. Yeah, baby, she tried to comfort Simone. Thank you, Cassandra. Yes, our forever first lady is speaking tonight, so that's why I don't have time to do 2 videos tonight, child, because I'm gonna be too busy watching the DNC. Thank you, Miss Ellis, Cassandra Ellis. Thank you so much, boo, for the super chat. She says she enjoys the channel, and I enjoy you guys too. Thank you. But baby, that's all I got with Jennifer. I just thought I would come down here and give y'all the highlights. Now, if y'all want the whole legal breakdown, remember, go to Girl Is That Legal or Pam Law Intellect. Both of them have gone through the legal documents and read through the legal documents. Simone even did a background check, so you guys can go and get that information actually go watch both of them, child. And if you want the full interview, go over to Carlos King and watch that whole hour. I gave y'all the highlights. I gave y'all the best I had. Okay. With that being said, all I can say is at this point, Jennifer, you are being woefully ignorant. You are walking in with your eyes wide open. Whether you choose to see what's in front of your face, I don't know what to tell you. There's that. With that being said, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.